Hi, my name's Penny, and today I wanted to talk about my 2018 reading goals. So I actually put this list together as a top 5 Wednesday group prompt. It was a prompt, I think, for the first week of January. You've probably noticed that it's no longer the first week of January because I haven't quite worked out the balance of work and doing other stuff yet. But we'll get there. I still wanted to talk about this anyway. So since it's a top 5 Wednesday prompt, I made 5 resolutions for my reading this year. So let's talk about them. Number 1 is the most simple one, which is basically my Goodreads goal, how many fiction books I'm going to read this year. And I am aiming for 50 books. I think that should be completely achievable. Last year I think I read 86. This year I don't think I'm going to be able to read quite as much, although so far I seem to be doing okay. So hopefully 50 books is an easy target. So my second goal is that I want to read 10 work-related books. Last year I actually had the goal to read 20 work-related books and I completely failed. I only read 5. So I've reduced my goal, but it's still more than I achieved last year. But I've been collecting a whole bunch of work-related books and I really just need to get through some of them because a lot of them are really interesting, as well as being topics that I need to learn about for my job. Although I don't really plan to talk about my work-related books on this channel unless anyone happens to find their way here and they're interested in agile software development and project management. That's kind of what I do. What is that? Who even knows? Nobody ever knows what I do, but that's what I do. I need to read some books and hopefully I'll figure out a time when I can actually work on that. So my third goal is all based around the number of series that I have in progress. So I talked a lot about series last year. I made a really concerted effort to get the amount of series in progress I had down, and I made some good progress, but I still have way too many series in progress, so I need to do some more work. Basically, I've split these out into separate Goodreads lists now, so I can really clearly see how many series I have in progress. So I have one list which is about series where all the books have been released, so I can complete the series. I think at the moment I have 3 books on that list, and I want to try and make it so that there is 2 or less books on that list. Then I also have a list for series where there's still more books to be released, but there are also books that have been released that I haven't read. And I think I've got about 4 or 5 books on this list. So ideally I'd really like to get it down to 3, but that might be a little bit ambitious because some of the series on that list have a lot more books in the series that I need to read. So I think I'm going to set a goal of getting it to 4 or less, and if I happen to get it down to 3, then that's a stretch goal and I can celebrate. I also have another list which is all the books where I've read all the books that have been released so far and I'm waiting on the next book in the series. I've been debating with myself whether I should try and set a limit on that list, but the problem is that there's not really much I can do to get that list down, so I'm just gonna not worry about that. Although it's likely that throughout this year some of the books on that list will move into the other lists when books get released, so I need to keep an eye on that in order to meet my targets for the other lists. I'm probably going to do some other videos about my series in progress just to talk about them, so it all might become a lot clearer then. So then my fourth goal is to reduce my physical TBR. So my bookshelves are behind me. Basically my top shelves down to about here are books that I've read in the past and that I liked and I wanted to keep because I might want to reread them or I might want to lend them to people. But all the shelves that are below the camera, which is about 4 shelves high, so we've got 3 up here and about 4 shelves below. Well, that's not true actually. The bottom shelf is all books I think that I want to sell or donate or in some way get rid of them because I've read them, I didn't really enjoy them. I need to send them out into the world. But the other 3 shelves are pretty much books that I need to read. I think I counted it and it came to 90 books. So by the end of the year, I would like my physical TBR shelves to be less than 90 books. So we'll see how we go there. I have to be careful. I'm pretty good about not buying books. Generally what I've been doing is reading new books from the library, and then if I like them, I'll buy them, which also means that those new books don't go on my TBR, they go straight onto my favorites shelves, so that should help. So then my last goal is to always read at least one book a month that I'm really excited about, because I'm aware that when you're trying to work on reducing lists of books in your TBR, that can start to feel quite demanding and not so much fun, and reading is supposed to be fun. Although a lot of the series that I'm reading are books that I'm really excited about, so it's not that bad. But I want to make sure that there's at least one book every month that I'm like really excited about and that I think might be a favorite book of mine. So yeah, those are my 5 goals for reading in 2018. I think they're all pretty achievable, but I guess I will check in again at the end of the year about how it goes, and then we'll know next year. But of course, I'll be talking more about books before then, so hopefully I will see you again next time.